With the release of the Ultra Revamp update, I can safely say we're in the final stages of Ultrakills' early access development, and the full release of the game is in sight. That being said, what should we expect from the ending of Ultrakill, and what happens to V1 after the end of the game? Before theorizing about what happens at the end of the game lore-wise, I think it's important to discuss what the final battle of the game could be. I'll try to keep this segment short, as many people have theorized about the final battle before me, and many others will continue to theorize about the final battle after me. In all reality, I think there's only two bosses that could be the final battle of Ultrakill. Gabriel Insignificant fuck! Or Hell itself. I like both ideas in concept, and I think it's necessary to theorize about both options in their own right. I'd like to start with what I think would happen in the lore if Gabriel Insignificant fuck! Was the final boss of the game. Honestly, knowing Hikita, I don't think he will be, just because it's a little too safe of a boss for the final game, and Hikita really likes to break expectations. However, if Gabriel does end up being the final boss of the game, I think the ending would go as follows. V1 finally slays Gabriel. Gabriel utters his final words, calling V1 nothing more than an object, but a worthy adversary nevertheless. After the death of Gabriel, V1 wanders around the nothingness it has created in Hell. There is nothing more. Mankind is dead, Hell is eradicated, blood is fuel. With no more enemies left in Hell, there is no more blood, no fuel. V1 slowly begins to rot in the absence of what was once Hell, and the game fades to black as one last "I don't want to die" fills the screen. I figured I should try to get creative because Gabriel seems the most likely to be the final boss if Hikita decides to try to play it safe. So I decided to come up with another ending I think could be possible if Gabriel ends up being the final boss of the game. This ending goes as follows. An uneasy alliance is created between machine and angel in heaven. There's nothing left for V1 to destroy in Hell. No more blood, no more fuel. However, Gabriel sees the machine as a tool to overthrow the hierarchy of heaven. If the weapon requires blood, then Gabriel will give it blood. Unfortunately, letting V1 into the pearly gates backfires on my favorite body pillow / marketable plushie. V1 can't be stopped. Heaven is completely eradicated along with Hell. There's nothing left. Period. Unfortunately, this ending also leads to the death of our protagonist, but such is the inevitable fate of something that requires blood to function. For having Hell itself be the final boss, I don't really have a solid idea like I do for Gabriel. I do think it would be really cool, however, if once you destroy Hell, because if you don't know, in the Ultrakill universe, Hell is living, it creates sort of like a Metroid-style escape sequence, where you run through the desecrated layers that you destroyed. Eventually, you try to make it to the beginning of the game, or the end of the game, and Hell is disintegrating around you, and you have to try to escape. Despite how hard you try, it's impossible to go through Hell that quickly. You struggle to the point where you start to question if maybe V1 can show human emotion after all, the desperation flowing through the machine. And then, just whenever you get hope that you may be able to escape Hell, the screen goes black, and you see the skull and crossbones laughing at you. You died. That's going to be all for today's video. I know it was a short one. I also haven't uploaded in maybe a month. But if you liked this type of content, please be sure to like and subscribe. If you watched all the way through, you definitely liked it. And let me know what I can do better in the comments. I know this video wasn't the best editing I could do ever, but I thought it was pretty funny at least. So